Hello and welcome to Portland, Oregon, site to race number 9 of the Reebok Truck Series season. Hard to believe it's already race 9, and hard to believe what we have looking up in the points. It's just absolutely incredible what's happened down here in this series this season. But on the pole today is Trevor Germain, all starring alongside will be Zach Kreller. William Duncan, Mason Neal in row 2 with Matt Dixon, Charles Jackson in row 3, Greg Jones, Jessica Shelton row 4, and Alex Perkle and Chris Washer in row 5. As we go through the rest of the starting grid, Jay Stella in the Dodge comes in as the points leader by 42 points over Chevrolet driver James Shelley. There he is. Jonathan Zorline, a Toyota, third in points, 50 points back. And Trevor Germain makes up the 4th spot in the points in the Ford, 57 points back. So the top 4 in points, all 4 manufacturers represented.
Drivers, start your engines.
Those 4 drivers will all be carrying onboards. Final row is Ashley LaPlante and Binky Louvier. The other 4 onboards will be, if we get around to showing them, will be carried by Ashley LaPlante, Preston Plord, Eric Powers, and Dylan Young. Those are 5th through 8th in the points, with 9th and 10th being rounded up by Amanda Shelley and Jake Baskinger. Top 9 could leave here as the points leader, meaning Amanda Shelley, if the right set of circumstances happened, could leave Portland, Oregon as the points leader. Probably not going to happen though. Watch the flagman. Pace cars are already pulled off, or pace truck, and we are away from Portland. Already 3 wide towards the back. Oh my god, Binky. So here we go. Jessica Shelton, the first to make it 3 wide in the front of the pack almost. Gets out of it. Washer's off in the grass. Mason, oh my god. A lot of guys off. Baskinger's around. Plord. That didn't take long. And it's a stack up back here. No cautions, unfortunately. Jay Stella's back there. He's in. The points there gets caught up behind it. LaPlante, Sky Commons, Chris Louvier there in the 51. Mason Powers, Preston Plord, Baskinger, really the main guy involved. Duncan's gone his way up to 2nd, and Shelton up to 3rd from 8th. The battle for 4th, though, really, between Jackson and Dixon. Trucks we don't expect to really see slide off in this corner a lot today. They seem to usually be able to handle the track a little bit better. And it looks fairly good. Dylan Thoreau to pit road though. So possible mechanical problem for Dylan Thoreau. LaPlante gets the pit wall. No, Thoreau just fueling away. Interesting. Binky Louvier up to 15th. Oh, Max Neuwirth. Kato Nakagawa and Neuwirth's up and over. And his truck will come to rest on its roof. How much damage does Binky have from that? Where is Binky at? Oh, there she... Whoa! She got turned. Okay. Tough break for the 69. Meanwhile, up front, William Duncan trying to find a way possibly around the 61 of Trevor Germain. Big battle back there in the back. As they're almost 4 wide on this track. That's John Irvin on the far inside there. They get it down to 2 wide for this corner though. Amazingly. John Irvin with a ton of damage to 13. What's funny is I know what happened to Binky Louvier's truck, and it's going to be hilarious to show it because it happened last season to someone, I forget who. Impressive battle back there though. Let's check up on the leaders again. Trevor Germain kind of sliding wide. Here comes William Duncan. Battle for the top spot. And it looks like coming to the line, Duncan might be able to get it. Yes, he will. Move the Germain Toyota Tundra to the race lead. Still Ford and Chevy second and third. Not quite sure where the top Dodge is. Germain now going to try and follow Duncan, see what he's doing differently, and try and capitalize on any mistake Duncan may or may not make in that 30 truck. Battle for fourth, though. That's Tim Greenwich this season. Charles Jackson and Tom Shelley. I'm not used to talking about the 19 this season. I don't know why I even tried to say Eric and Rage there. Race 9. And Jackson gets shoved out wide by Tom Shelley. Gonna lose 1, 2 spots, 3 now as well. Seth Cole, last week's winner, got pushed out wide. Jeff James gets around the 54. And Seth Cole losing plenty of spots as well. Gonna get back up to speed. Looks like about 14th. Or 13th, actually. Jackson gets it going again in the 10th spot. Now about ready to lose that spot to Zach Kreller, though. Kreller in desperate need of a good run, trying to get back up into the top 10 in points as Hiroshi Kazuyoshi is on pit road. So troubles for the 35 truck. A lot of damage to the 35. And now going back up to the lead just to see what's going on with that. Nothing there. So we'll follow the battle between Jackson and Kreller here, with Steve Pollard looking on as well in the 25. A couple of our race winners this season. Kreller, who finds himself 35th in the points, though. And then Steve Pollard, who finds himself 13th in the points, firmly in the top 30 in points that he needs to be, as Eric Powers has gone around Seth Cole now for 13th on the racetrack. And I see Dylan Young trying to look inside of Tom Shelley, who's also trying to look inside of Tim Greenwich down the front straightaway here. Jessica Shelton starting to try and kind of catch the 61 truck a little bit. Steve Pollard has actually run the fastest lap of the race. And Jermaine just doesn't seem to really have the race pace that he really would need. I did talk with Jermaine, and he did say that he didn't feel like they had the gear set up just right yet in that truck. He was complaining of pretty much almost maxing out fourth gear on that front straightaway there. As now throw Oriel Pollard into the battle there, as Jackson on the driver's right of Zach Kreller, which was the inside line for that corner. Kreller gonna have to concede the spot and have to fend off Steve Pollard for a spot inside the top 10. Pollard looks to driver's left. Not a smart idea there. Might as well wait for this right-hander. Oh, but he got brake checked going into the corner a little bit. I don't know if Kreller did that on purpose or just to try and hold his line. Either way, I wouldn't expect to get away with that too many times. Drivers out of the race already. Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Kato Nakagawa, Max Newer, Jake Baskinger, and Preston Ford have all taken their trucks behind the wall. Best battle on the track, though, I'd say is for fourth between Tim Greenwich and Tom Shelley. They've been going at it a little bit. Dylan Young's in this battle. And now we have a battle for second. Drivers left for Shelton. That's the outside line right now for that corner. Going to keep on the track, though, and try and get a run down towards the final right-hander, essentially. Greenwich has kind of gone away from Shelley, and now Shelley having to fend off from Dylan Young. Jackson's been able to actually open up a little bit of gap on Kreller. That's good. Let's see if Shelton can get a run or anything through this corner here. Going to have a lower line. Not quite there yet. I think give the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet about another lap to be able to make that move. Meanwhile, Dylan Young still looking, and now Steve Pollard looking for a spot inside the top 10. And they scored him with the 10th spot there, so good job by Steve Pollard. I saw the points leader back there. We'll check in on him a little bit here in a moment. But we'll watch the battle for 10th first between Zach Kreller and Steve Pollard. Sam Young in this battle now as well. The battle for 11th there. And Shelton still has not gone around yet. Tom Shelley runs a little wide. Was not forced off, but just ran wide and is losing 3 spots at least. Might lose a 4th to Jackson. Kreller looks like ran wide as well. Jackson going to have the preferred line for these set of corners. Even around that left-hander, the driver's right is really the favorite line for these guys. Shelley, though, with the crossover. Let's check out where the guys in points are running. Shelton now has gone around for 2nd. Stella currently runs 23rd. James Shelley finds himself 16th place right now. Jonathan Zorline is still running on track. He's in 31st, though. Just in front of him is Ashley LaPlante. She's 5th in points, remember, 32nd place. Trevor Germain just fell back to 3rd. Preston Plord out of the race. I did not mean to go to Binky there. Dixon has no front end, though. Dang. Eric Powers, 13th place right now. Dylan Young is in 5th. And then you look at Amanda Shelley is 22nd. We're going to go up to the 2nd place truck. As the white flag is out, Dylan Young making a move on Tim Greenwich. Does Shelton have any possibility of actually catching William Duncan on the final lap? Is going to be the question. I don't think so. I think this is going to be William Duncan's race. It just took Shelton too long to get around Trevor Germain. Still, though, to come from 8th place or 9th place on the grid or something like that, to get a 2nd will be a great run for Jessica Shelton. Well needed. Came into this race 29th in the points. Duncan came into this race 19th in the points. And it would take a humongous collapse, really, by Duncan to avoid getting another win down here in the Reebok Truck Series. I think he's got the most wins of anyone. This would be about his 5th career Reebok Truck Series win, 12th all-time win in all 3 series for the 3 series combined. Off the final corner, William Duncan going to see the checkered flag, and he will win at Portland. Shelton 2nd. Jermaine 3rd, Dylan Young up there in 4th, Greenwich 5th, Oriole Pollard, James there, Tom Shelley, and looks like Sam Young the top 10. No, it's Zach Kreller, okay. Charles Jackson fell back. Has still yet to come across the line. What happened to Jackson? Oh, now he's come across the line in 25th. Doesn't look like any damage on the 54. This is weird. Well, we will take a look at accidents, and I will make sure to take a look at that. But a good job by William Duncan, what I believe is win number 5 in the Reebok Truck Series season. Oh boy, look at this. Yeah, they're destroying their trucks. Because it's fun. Oh my god. I don't like this pit road. I really don't. Oh well. Pit road kind of clearing itself up though. So that's good. Some guys who might come from really far back in the field. How about... Just looking. Sam Young started 40th. And he ends up finishing 9th. Great job by Sam Young. Top 10 though today. William Duncan, Jessica Shelton, Trevor Germain, Dylan Young, Tim Greenwich, Oriole Pollard, Jeff James, Tom Shelley, Sam Young and Zach Kreller. Let's take a look at some of the wrecks from today's race. Looking on lap 1 to try and figure out what happened. Boy, LaPlante was slow back there. But Plord goes to the inside of Neuwirth coming down to turn 1. Oh, Pollard turns Zorline. And Zorline just comes right back up the track. Nowhere for Baskinger to do. Nothing he really could have done at all. Henry Powers involved. There's Irvin. There's Amanda Shelley getting through it. That's where Irvin gets his damage as he backs up into Louvier. Can we try and figure out why LaPlante was slow? Let's see. Everything seems normal there. It's almost like his truck just would not get... The acceleration wasn't there. Weird. That is really weird. Eric Power started back here. He gets through it. Paul Swanson also involved. Stella gets through it, though. Okay, so there's Cavagnaro going around. Didn't see that part at all. Kato Nakagawa kind of just turns the T-truck. Remember, Kato Nakagawa was our most recent road course winner, too, actually, out in Mosport. Now what we'll do is we'll go and take a look at the next wreck that I can find or remember. And we'll just jump ahead right straight to it. Taking a look at what happened to Max Neuwirth. You see Zach Kreller there behind him. Jeff James on the outside of the 50. And a little bit of contact made from the 23. Sends the 50 truck around. Fortunately, Kato Nakagawa gets some damage there. And then Binky Louvier just gets right into the 50. Puts him on his roof. And then watch what's going to happen to Binky here. James Shelley actually going to turn the 69 truck around. And most trucks you have an invisible wall or something somewhere around here. Not here. Just sends Binky right back onto the other side of the track and she has to redo turn 1. Gotta love it. Better than hitting an invisible wall though at like whatever speed it was. Tough break for Binky. So I said that I wasn't expecting a lot of trucks to go wide. This one still doesn't really count. He did have an assistance, but Seth Cole gets into the 29, sends the 29 up into the grass, and unfortunately, if you get out there, you're kind of lost because there's not a lot of grip. Unless you're lucky like Seth Cole and you're able to get back onto the track. But Dixon gonna find the tire barrier here. He was able to continue on and still finish the race, but after that, his truck pretty well done for the day in terms of being able to contend. We were able to figure out what happened to Hiroshi Kazuyoshi. Watch the 22 of Ashley LaPlante. Just going to get into the left rear here off the corner. And that's going to be enough to just pretty much hook the 35 around and send Kazuyoshi into the tires and end the Veristore day for Eddie Sharp Racing. Well, here's what happened to Charles Jackson, why he did not finish in the top 10 today like he probably should have. He ran up there all day, and prototypical to road course racing, you can keep your nose out of trouble till the final lap and still end up running somewhere in the back because someone turns you. That's what happened to Charles Jackson as Steve Pollard, as you see there hooks the 54 Camping World Toyota Tundra around and sends Jackson from a top 10 run to a run in the mid 20s. Pollard actually also lost a few spots out of that. He was running 10th at the time. Lost 3 spots there at least. It looks like to Eric Powers he lost a spot. Maybe to Greg Jones even. Great job by Greg Jones actually. Not a top 10 run, but an underrated run really for that team. They're dead last in points coming in. And they're going to get like a 13th or a 14th place finish or something. I just want to see where they got scored. But that was the final incident of the day. Congrats to Duncan on whatever career win it is. If I was wrong on it being win number 5, I will correct myself. It was a 12th place for Greg Jones. Okay, so yeah, the reason I'm not sure on it is I actually have not kept my career wins chart thing up to date really, especially with the trucks. So I don't know if it's been 5 wins or if you got another win somewhere else. I do know for sure that is at least 12 combined wins for the 3 series on this channel for William Duncan. So great job for him. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.